Okay, good morning, class. So this is, I think, going to be the last presentation that we will have for this class. And ito yung pinili kong uh, last topic, which is actually the future trends in organizational psychology. Okay, so the main aspects of this presentation would be technology, and then uh, what else? Engagement of people and all that. And then, so what will be also the future in store for psychology practitioners like yourselves in HR and organizational psychology? So first of all, AI, no? The impact of AI in work relationships. Wala na, hindi na natin pwedeng alisin si artificial intelligence. It's in our midst. It's being used everywhere. Technology is taking this giant leap forward due to machine learning. No? So, ginagamit na rin po yan sa AI. That's the reason sa Athens or Psych. No? And that is the reason why I'm opening your eyes, your mind towards it. Because if you don't, even if you will hear it only the first time sa industry, then it will be difficult for you, no? So marami nang ngayong ginagamit, no, sa OrgPsych, which is not only about chatbots, AI-driven platforms, facilitating real-time interaction. Some people are might be a little uh, intimidated by it, no? Lalo na sasabihin nila parang nawala na yung humanity, no, sa HR. Well, in reality, there are so many things na although humans ang gumagawa ngayon, is uh, we're not really engaged in it, you know. So it's like an automatic thing for us anyway. Lalo pag interview ng tao, some HR people, they don't even look at the applicants anymore. Pag nagpakita ka naman ng genuine, care, concern, as if you are like a counselor, baka abutin ka ng 2 hours about interview, and you're going to interview sometimes 100 applicants upwards, lalo na pag nasa BPO ka. So really, hindi na siya magandang gawin. And that's the reason why now we're using a lot of AI driven platforms, no? Even sa pag-filter ng ating mga applicants. Another thing that has taken over us would be since 2020, no? Ng pandemic, is remote work. Of course, ako, my reasoning here is that it's actually the other way around. The reason why there's remote work is not because of AI, it's not because of the times, pandemic, it's because of technology, So, kung wala naman tayong technology that would make us work remotely, hindi naman natin siya pipiliin, People will to say, oh, come to the office, etc. I bring your computer at home, di ba? Wala na tayong choice eh. Talagang people are changing, times are changing, and you really have to, work alongside those changes. May mga tao na, like it or not, they don't like to work in the office. Okay? Ito nga, nakita ko as early as 2015, 2016 when I uh, visited uh, a Singaporean school uh, for uh, parang binavalidate ko yung kanilang Investors in People certification. And doon pa lang nakita ko na meron ganitong future trend noong 2015. No? So yung mga female employees, they would offer a shorter period. Hindi sila 40 hours, parang 28 hours lang. So may libre sila 12 hours. I think mas mababa ng konti yung sahod pa nila noon, no? Yun yung ano nun eh, no? They lowered down the salary during those times. And then ang compensation naman is, sabi niya nung female rank and file, I get to spend time with my baby. Ganun, no? Kasi nga, ano siya, no? Recent mother. So, appreciated talaga siya, no? And since nagkakaroon na pala talaga ng ganun, prior to the pandemic, kaya nung pandemic na nag-shift tayo sa ganun, online, remote work, hindi na siya mahirap, no? And I think Facebook, Google, Microsoft. They were one. They're one of the three of the companies that said na after the pandemic, we will no longer go back to the former, 100% office. Talagang ano dyan na yan, remote work is here to stay. Tapos ano dun pa yung gig economy, you don't have to work for a certain company uh, your entire professional life. So, parang pwedeng isang tao, he or she might be serving three or four companies. So, kung ang binigay niya sa yung oras ay Thursday, that's it. Thursday it is. So, that's going to be your time with him or her. No? So, talagang kailangan masali na tayo sa ganun. And you have to accept it as it is because that's how uh, it's gonna be, for most of the people, worldwide. Tapos, yung platform naman on project management. Project management actually yung Asana eh, no? And then of course, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, di ba? Maraming ano ng options to meet, no? To collaborate effectively, even nga Google Classroom na-appreciate ko na eh. Dati iniisip ko siya na parang hindi naman siya okay, pero kung makikita mo, yeah, it might work also, especially if you're all in that platform. 'Di ba? So mag-aano ka lang ng Meet tapos naka-record 'yun kasi lalo na kung may workspace kayo and everybody can collaborate tapos ando doon naman yung mga comments doon sa quote and quote classroom ninyo or something o sa inyong space. Tapos makakapag ano pa kayo sa Google Slides, Google Sheets and all that, 'di ba? So parang yung mga ganun ginagawa na talaga yun. And really, if you're not into technology, o kaya sabihin ko, "Ay, hindi kasi ako techie," naku, you will have a hard time kasi that's how the world reacts now. So, yung Excel, wag niyong may minosen because ang daming shortcuts sa Excel na a lot of young people like you don't know. And pag pinapakita ko sa klase, sa mga live nung class ko, minsan sabi niya, ha? Pwede pala yun sa Excel? Yung sabi ko, kailangan marunong kayo niyan, no? Sir, hindi naman sa amin natuturo yan. Yung makalay turo yan, you have to look for these shortcuts. And panigita niyo siya sa TikTok or sa mga reels or whatever. Panoorin niyo para lagi na ano sa inyo. Follow niyo yung mga ganun, yung mga shortcuts, no? Yung mga hacks. Kasi later on, it will prove useful lalo na kung kailangan mong gumawa ng mga projects o mga presentations. At yun nga, kung nasa HR po kayo, I already mentioned this, no? Kung nasa HR na kayo, ang daming mga bagay na ina-expect nila, ay alam nyo rin. Sometimes, nagma-marketing din kayo, gumagawa kayo ng PubMat, no? Yung pang mga materials natin, no? For advertising, no? Sa social media and all that. Sometimes, sumasagot din tayo ng mga tawag. So, all of those things, hindi naman pinag-aaralan eh, di ba? So, that's the reason why you really have to get in touch with technology. And then, kung hindi nyo pa kaya, marami kayong pwedeng attendan ng mga webinars, seminars on this. May mga learning platforms din yan. O, syempre, may bayad na yun dahil lagpas na yun sa inyong schooling. Pero yun na yung magiging ninyo, no? Ticket to anywhere in the world. No? Yan, parang gig economy na kasi. And yung remote work is only happening because of the existence of more advanced technologies and platforms now. Now, ito pa yung data analytics. How do you now measure yung metrics of productivity and engagement levels sa isang klase ng setup na you're dispersed all over the world? No? Kahit nga dito lang sa Philippines, meron ka mga agents na kung saan-saan nandun. Mamroblema ka kung bakit ito si George hindi nagse-check-in, nasaan na siya, hindi sumasagot sa tawag, ganito ganyan, no? Naku, yan ang lagi nyo magiging problem, no? Yung employee na hindi sumasagot. Ako sa akin, importante yun. Kaya sa umpisa pa lang, binabanggit ko na yan, no? Pag kayo hindi sumagot, ibig sabihin, absent kayo. Ganun lang yan sa akin. Kasi nakalagay yan sa metrics eh. So, kailangan once a day, magche-check-in kayo dito. Kasi yun talaga yung sinasabi, no? At nasa job description mo yan. Hindi mo sasabihin hindi. Dahil kailangan malaman ng boss mo kung anong ginagawa mo everyday. Minsan, Meron tayong tendency na alam naman yan na nandito yung mga gano'n, no? Minsan nagpapalusot pa, lalo mga bata. Again, no offense, pero alam naman yan nasa field ako eh. 'Di ba? Alam nga naman lagi ako magche-check. Hindi sinasabing lagi ka mag-check-in. Ang sinasabi, magsabi ka kung nasaan ka nandoon, saan ka papunta kasi later on lahat ng galawan ng mga nasa field kailangan alam ng boss para alam niya kung sino papadala niya sa mas malapit na company. Minsan, pag hindi ka nagsasabi, di mo sinabi, tapos may na-close na deal doon sa kabila na ang lapit mo pala. Kaso hindi alam ng boss mo na ikaw ang malapit. So inutusan yung isa na malayo. Ngayon nagagalit ka. Meron ganyan nangyari sa akin ha. Talagang eksaktong ganyan. As in, Sir, bakit hindi ako yung pinadalo? Paano ko malalaman kung nasaan ka? Nag-check-in ka ba sa ano natin? Kasi di ba yung mga tablet yan eh. Ah, nakalagay ka ba dyan kung asan ka? Sir, saan tinawagan nyo ako? Tatawagan kita of all the 30 agents na meron tayo. Iisa-isahin ko yun. Kaya nga tayo may technology. Huwag kang mag ano, magawa ng eksena rito dahil ikaw ang may kasalanan kung ba't hindi mo na close ang deal na yan. Dahil hindi ka nag-check-in. 'Di ba? Ganun lang yun eh, guys eh. So, kaya yan importante yung paano mo papaano ano yung mga tao sasabihin sa kanila yung exactly what they need to do. Kasi ngayon, guys, talagang kailangan hangga't maaari nga nakasulat na, sinasabi mo pa sa mga tao. Kasi minsan hindi nila na-appreciate yung sinasabi mo, no? Kung nga, ang term nga nito ng boss ko noong 96, parang kung maaring isampal mo na sa mga tao mo yung kailangan mo sabihin at gawin nila, ilista mo pa, itattoo mo sa kanilang mga kamay para maalala nila everyday itong ginagawa mo. Okay? At guys, sinasabi sa inyo, kayo estudyante pa lang, no? Pero later on, yan na magiging problema niyo. Pag gano'n na nagiging problema niyo at gano'n na pinag-uusapan niyo, yan, nagiging na kayong tita, nagiging na kayong tito. Kasi, ibig sabihin lang, yung problema na ng mga bata, yung mga batang yan, gano'n, no? Yan ang sasabihin ninyo kasi hindi nila mo sila mapagalaw. So, importante ang data analytics for employee performance. And then we have automation and job redefinition. No? Yung automation is really reshaping our job roles, requiring employees to adapt to new responsibilities. I always say this na before, nung bago lumabas yung mga technology sa farming, people keep on saying, paano na yan, mawala na kami ng trabaho, you know, they have employed tractors and all that. Anong mangyayari sa trabaho namin, etc. But of course, 'di ba? Ang nangyari doon is they they went uh, to factories and they became factory workers at least in the beginning of the 20th century. And afterwards, na-automate na naman. And then we'll say, oh, mawawala na kami ng trabaho, but the world moves on, you know? And so, ganun po yung nangyayari dyan. So, ngayon, AI, na-automate yung napakadami transaction. The way to go is not to make a fuss about it. A lot of people, especially the older ones, so sasabihin nila, ay, ayoko ng AI na yan, mas maganda pa rin tao. You know, all those people, they're saying that now, these are the people whose jobs will be overtaken by AI simply because they don't know how to use the technology. So if you, mas maganda na yung technophobia kaysa yung uh, parang meron kang galit no sa technology na ayaw mo mag-comply. And there were people, for example, in the bank before, when I was working in the bank, who said, no, ay, pag ganyan, i-implement mo yan, George. Magre-retire na lang kami, matanda na kami. Ganun ang sinabi nila. Di ba? So, wag po tayong ganun. Okay? So, dapat po, continuous lang ang buhay and really have to adapt to technology, especially in this fast evolving job market and work landscape that we are doing. Especially kayo, dahil mga bata kayo eh. Ang minsan na ano ko sa mga bata, sila yung hindi marunong sa technology, no? Minsan pag sinasabihan mo, hindi ko alam yan, pwede pala yan, no? So, yun po yung mga bagay na nakaka-shock na supposed to be, kayo yung nakakaalam yan kasi digital natives kayo eh. So, supposed to be, kayo yung merong mas access to technology. Ngayon po, halos lahat, mga coding, lahat po yan ay kaya ng pag-aralan. Okay. So, ang gusto ko lang i-highlight dito, I need to highlight on a fact, no? That in order to really evolve with the technology around us, we must develop higher level thinking skills. Okay? Because kahit anong gawin, galing ng AI, ang AI would always be uh, part of technology. No? So katulad nga ng mga dating sinasabi namin sa programs, no? Computer programs, garbage in, garbage out. No? So kung walang database na maganda, kung hindi maganda yung prompt, kung hindi maganda yung feed natin, no, na data, questions, prompts, no, sa ating AI platform, eh wala rin, no? Kaya nga ang importante dito is higher level thinking. I always tell my students that alam mo, paggamit ng AI, pag magaling ka, magiging parang superhuman. No? Pag hindi ka magaling, lalong ma-highlight yung kakulangan mo. Kasi nga, alatang-alatang AI ang ginamit mo eh. 'Di ba? Samantalang pag marunong kang gumamit ng, for example, prompt, no? Marunong kang gumamit ng yung database, no? Paano mo i-feed sa kanya yan, no? Paano mo gagamitin yung data in order to get meaningful relationships of metrics and all that. Kumbaga, higher level thinking skills. In short, if you don't want to be replaced by robots or AI, you have to be above them in sense. You know, in a way you have to be the boss of the robots. You know what I mean? And there are things that they cannot do, and there are things that they can never equal. The human spirit, the human person, and while we have that edge, I don't want to think like some kind of an evil matrix type world wherein the machines take over. Wag natin isipin yun, no? Ang mahalaga ngayon is how to make use of these technology. Just like you're using a bike, sabi nga ni Steve Jobs dati, no? A person with a bike, you know, yun ang kanyang ano eh, meron kang tool, may machine ka. Eh di lalo na ngayon, ang hawak mo ay hindi lang bike, which is, ang kahawak mo ay artificial intelligence that will uh, move forward, no? Make a leap forward on all our knowledge and technology. Okay. Next would be the changes that are happening in the engagement of people. There are many people now that are focusing on employee well-being strategies, mental health support. Yan na po, diyan tayo papasok, no? Flexible work options, kaya yan napunta doon, no? And then the wellness programs, they can significantly reduce burnout. So research shows that organizations prioritizing employee well-being, they see 20% increase in productivity. And one of the reasons for that is these people tend to stay more in the company. And when you stay, madali yung learning kasi yung learning curve mo na fulfill mo na eh. Whereas kung laging bago yung employee na papasok sa inyo, akala nung HR, ganito yung attitude ng iba. Sasabihin nila, well, you can always just hire people. Totoo naman yun. But yung learning curve, magsisimula na naman ulit. Right? So, kung it takes you like 5, 6 months to train one person, and ang average turnover would be like average of 4, 5 months, 6 months, imagine the type of turnover and the type of learning training cost that you have. There was one research that I saw wherein they said that for every person resigning, it takes you about 4 times the salary of that person to replace him or her. Not only yung mga pag-post sa Jobstreet, LinkedIn, hindi lang yun eh. Kundi yung training, yung start na naman all over again. Tapos yung moral ng lahat ng tao sa paligid mo na, ay, may bago na naman tayong tao. Gaano katagal na naman kaya yan? And all that, no? So yun po yung nangyayari. So we really have to take good care of this, especially since you will be part of the org psych team. O yan, kaya dito, pumapasok talaga po yung job satisfaction because ang dami na pong options. Kayo na lang eh, alam niyo yan. So many options for employees. When you graduate, pwede kayong, dati, pag nasa Bulacan ka lang. Talagang hirap. Nung pupunta ka sa Manila, you will have to transfer to Manila. Pero ngayon, you can even stay in your, you know, at home in Laguna. And then, You can teach ako, for example, I'm teaching in Bulangan, where you are, and then later I'm teaching in Manila, pero I'm just staying here, wherever I am, sa Manila. 'Di ba? Parang masyado ng maraming options ang mga employees ngayon. And that's the reason why you really have to uh, make an effort. Hindi naman to satisfy. Mahirap kasi yung sabihin mo na we're satisfying employees. Kasi sa HR perspective, parang masakit sa tenga yun eh. Na, no, 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 we're not satisfying employees. In fact, sa management development ng mga models, we are satisfying not the shareholders, not the employees, but our customers. Pero if our frontline are not satisfied as a worker of the company, no, as rank and file, then syempre ang pinoproject ng image sa labas is aalis na nga po ako dito eh, 'di ba? Hindi naman po maganda rito. Hindi na inaalagaan yung mga, 'di ba? The feedback that they give is somewhat negative. You are being represented by a person who is not passionate about his or her job. Kaya kahit anong galing pa nung boss mo, ng vice president nyo, yung may-ari ng company, if you are being represented by a person that has, like a garage in the company or something like that, then hindi siya magiging effective na marketeer. And they're the first marketer, frontliners. So sabi nga rito, studies indicate that if you're satisfied employees, they are 12% more productive and they exhibit higher loyalty rates. They tend to stay more in the company. Yun yung mga bagay na dapat natin consider. So, kaya dito importante yung pag-institute ng magandang workplace culture. It plays a vital role in employee engagement. A positive culture fosters an environment of trust, innovation, and inclusiveness, reducing turnover by up to 25%. I remember when we started IIP before Investors in People, we even increased our retention rate from like something like 56% to as high as 97%, especially during the time when I was the HR. I think for the next 2 years, walang nag-resign. No? So, ganun siya ka-hopeful yung mga rank and file na finally, there's something going on here and, we're doing something good. And we gotta stick around because something is afoot, something is happening here. And parang ganun, di ba? So they develop a sense of trust. And for me, one of the things that I usually do is to listen to employees, listen to their rants, listen to what they are saying because in the end, hindi mo naman sila lahat pagbibigyan eh. Pero the fact that somebody listens to you from the higher ups, ako I never get tired of listening to people. And in parang I always put myself in their shoes and their own perspective. Kumbaga parang let me see what's going on, where you are. How do you see us and ano yung nakikita mo dito sa company natin. Something like that. Okay? Techniques for boosting engagement. Marami yan. Mga regular feedback, team building activities. Although, however, sa napaka-fast-paced na world ngayon, tas madami pa remote, hindi minsan magagawa yung sobrang daming team building activities. No? Employee involvement in decision making, yan, yung mga bagay na po pwede mong gawin. No? At least the little things that they can decide on, especially with respect to their job positions. No? They can be made to make decisions, especially on the things that pertain to their level of roles in the company. Yun man lang, no, mabibigyan mo. And then, yun nga, pag nasa sa meeting kayo, let them speak, let them voice out their opinions, etc. Hindi yung nagsisimula pa lang, brainstorming nga, nagsisimula pa lang, ayaw nyo ng pagsalitin, sasabihin nyo, ay hindi, nagawa na natin yan, wag na natin gawin yan. So, pag ganun ang attitude natin, yes, mabilis tayo matatapos sa meeting, pero ang nakikita ng mga tao ron is a company being represented by you who's not willing to listen. Okay? So, kung ganun pala na ikaw na masusunod, ba't ka pa nagpa-meeting? Bigyan mo kami ng memo anong dapat namin gawin because you never listen to us, di ba? Ganun ang, lalo ngayon sa mga bata, I think yan talaga ang kailangan. Although, I must tell you that doon ako sa people, focus, masyadong mahaba, matagal ang proseso pag ganun. Di ba? Kaya dapat babalansehin mo rin siya. Kaya nga ako sa tingin ko nakakatulong ang learning management system, although ang Philippines is one country na mas gusto pa rin na face-to-face, mas gusto pa rin na nakikita niya, gusto niya yung pagsasalita niya, talagang nakikita niya yung reaction ng taong katapat niya. No? Okay lang naman yun. Basta ang mahalaga, i-limit natin yung, kasi minsan nagiging bull session na lang lagi yung meeting natin. No? Hindi maganda yun. Lalo pat ikaw yung tao diyan sa gitna, ikaw ang magmamatanda diyan, natural, ikaw ang dapat makakaalam. Kaya kayo, paglabas nyo kaagad, you are being called out to be mature, more mature than your peers. Hindi dahil sa psychology major kayo, kundi dahil sa yung magiging field ninyo is like one step na lang leadership role na yan. 'Di ba? Kayo yung connection between, the management and the people. That's why you really have to be always one step ahead of your peers. Okay, ano mga various frameworks in management, people management? We have, first of all, yung agile performance. Uh, it is actually a performance management system, not just in project management, but in almost every aspect. No? So it emphasizes on flexibility and responsiveness in paano i-evaluate yung employee performance. In fact, itong framework na to guys, no, pag nag-training kayo dito, mataas ang magiging sweldo nyo sa industry. Ayan, ha. Yung framework na yan often incorporates regular feedback cycles, continuous improvement, and adaptation to changing business trends. Kumbaga, ina-align niya yung people management to strategy framework. Ayan, no? Para magkaroon ng higher engagement. Okay, employee experience frameworks focuses on creating holistic environments that enhance employee satisfaction and productivity. So itong mga frameworks na to, these frameworks integrate the aspects of the workplace, culture, technology to ensure that there's a positive experience throughout the employee life cycle. Yan. Then ito pa isang issue na usually nasa office natin is the issue on diversity and inclusion. Okay, lalo na ngayon, no, global na yung ating workplace. So we should create an equitable opportunity for all our employees, promoting diverse workforce. We should have training programs, and then to remove at least, no, to mitigate bias in our way of thinking, our way of speaking, especially in the workplace. So we always remind our people that, you know, inclusive hiring practices, okay, to enhance overall organizational performance. We will always be, uh, in a way, biased with some races, some cultures, but we really have to open our minds and our hearts, no? Because yung uh, inclusion principle will actually strengthen where we are, no? Yung ating pillars of quality, because marami tayong matututunan talaga. No? There are so many things that we can learn from other nations as well. Okay? And then yung mga leadership development models, ngayon po, pagkapasok nyo pa lang, parang na-identify nila who is going to be the next leaders. Okay? So, in-nurture natin yung leadership skills across all levels of the organization. Instead of complaining, start creating. Instead of complaining, start making a move to solve the problems. You should not be part of the problem. You should be part of the solutions. Okay? Sa company, ganun. Huwag tayong reklamo na reklamo. Gumawa tayo ng paraan para masolusyonan yung mga problema. Okay? So, yung mga model na to would incorporate yan, mentoring, leadership training, and assessments to ensure that future leaders are equipped to drive organizational success. Okay, now we go to the way forward for a psychology practitioner. So, first of all is, of course, kailangan natin mag-train, no? uh, for our professional development. Essential yan for us. No? We have to stay updated with latest researches, methodologies, and technologies, especially, to enhance your ability to support organizations effectively and ensure relevance in the field. No? Ito pa yan, no? Bilang psychology major, meron kayong field sa psychology, pero meron din dapat kayong field sa management of business. Okay? And you really have to collaborate with a lot of people because you can't do everything. Halimbawa, kailangan nyo usually mga engineers. So, ang engineers ang mga kasama nyo dyan. How do you speak their language, di ba? So, all of those things have to be included in your repertoire, so to speak. Okay? And then you also need uh, to ensure that you are able to adapt in the changes in the organization. Organizational change yan talaga ang pabago-bago yan, no? Pabago-bago ang company. I mean, it's inevitable. Organizational change is here and it's the only thing that's permanent is change. No? You as psychology practitioners, you must develop your skills to facilitate that transition. Alam niyo yung change management o tinatawag na organizational change, yan ay skill in itself. No? Maraming change management frameworks that can aid in guiding employees through transformations and improving overall morale. Kasi pag nagbabago, siyempre nag-shift yung sand, yung mga natatanggal sa trabaho, nagre-restructure ang company, no? Pati yung branding nagbabago. So you really have to navigate your way through all that. Ethical considerations, ethics yan, play a crucial role in org psych. Practitioners should navigate confidentiality, yan, paano kayo mag-handle ng mga organizational secrets, so paano nyo i-handle yung may kaso pala yung may nag-file pala ng kaso against one of the bosses for sexual harassment. All of those things, kailangan i-maintain yan with great professionalism, no? And confidentiality. Informed consent, isa sa mga areas din kung saan nagkakamali-mali ang mga tao natin because they don't know the law on yan, mga confidentiality, mga privacy and all that. Kailangan na-maintain natin yan, yung trust and integrity while working with clients and organizations. One of the things that I also noticed with HR practitioners is that minsan hindi nila inaalagaan yung kanilang mga file 201, no? Ang balang lang sa table nila, ang daming tao pumapasok doon, no? Nakikita yung mga number ng tao, ganyan. The fact na nakikita lang yan dyan, no? Minsan kasi, lalo sa school, no? For accreditation, nakalabas lang, no? Sa table mo, bigla napa-CR ka, may nakapasok. Pwedeng picturean yung inyong table at violation na kagad po yan ng privacy, data privacy. Kaya po, merong way dapat para lahat po ng ating mga confidential, lahat ng information na magkakaroon ng breach for data privacy is talagang protected, no? Mahirap magtiwala mo sa ganyan. Kaya po dapat i-secure natin siya talaga. So from the beginning pa lang, tingnan nyo yan kung ano yung mga magkakaroon ng possible breach in that. Kasi ang laki ng dyan, ang laki ng penalty dyan, may pagkakulong pa yan. Kaya kung wag tayo ang mag-ano dyan, wag po tayo ang magkakamali. No? Building resilience in workforce, promoting resilience within the workforce is also essential for maintaining productivity and employee well-being. May kinalaman sa stress management, adaptability, mental health, lalo ng time ng pandemic, ang daming affected, no? May mga namatayan ng mga kamag-anak, mga magulang, kakilala, loved ones. So kaya po talagang andito po tayo to offer support, no? And also to foster resilience in our workforce. Kasi sila po yung nagre-represent sa atin. So pag pumahina yung pinaka-body natin, no? Siyempre, yung buong organization will also suffer. Okay, so yun lang po. I think that's it for our lesson. So we have, all in all, this is 35 or 36 minutes of recording. I hope you made it to the last slide. So yun po yung ating, I think that's also the last of our class, no? Hindi ko lang alam kung kakaslo ba next week. Pero feeling ko kung meron man ay practice exam or just some minor instructions and that's it already. So thank you very much for putting up with me in the whole semester. I hope you learned something in our lessons I hope ma-apply niyo po yung mga nasasabi ko dito. Katulad din ng mga previous na naging estudyante ko. So, maganda naman na naging feedback nila kasi nakikita talaga nila yung mga sinasabi ko sa workplace nila ngayon. No? So I just hope that I prepared you somewhat. Siyempre, nothing can prevent you from what's going to happen. Iba-iba tayo ng magiging challenges. Basta always remember na there's always hope. There's always a positive thing that's happening in the horizon. Kung magkamali man tayo, mag-fail man tayo, you can always just get back again because in the end, it's always learning. Yun ang pinaka-importante. How much you have learned from all the mistakes that you have incurred in the past. Okay? So, way forward lagi natin. So, yan. Good luck to everybody and I just hope that you become better and better at what you do and to make an impact in the lives of others, especially the ones that God has given to you. Thank you very much. God bless you all.